Hey guys, my name is David, also known as the Cloudydave here on YouTube, and I'm coming at you with a review of Tenergy batteries. Tenergy 3.2 volt Lipo4 chemistry batteries. Their generic name, the RCR 123A batteries. These particularly have a safer chemistry. People ask if they're protected. No, they're not protected. With what you would normally associate a battery with being protected by having a little PCB. This actually is protected by its chemistry, the Lipo4 chemistry. So these are as safe to vape as your regular protected batteries. Of course, if you're one of those people who are scared of batteries exploding in your face, again, I'll put it to you, these are safe as protected batteries when it comes to batteries exploding in your face. I'm still not riding that gravy train, but did I just say that? I'm still not riding that theory on batteries exploding, but I guess it could happen. It's happened to people. I don't know, and I don't know what the circumstances were, and I don't think they were telling the full story when they did tell their story. But I'm sure it's happened. I'm sorry for those who it happened to, but I particularly am not afraid of that happening to me. So, with that said, let me get into the good of this battery. The good of this battery is that it lasts a lot longer than you would expect it to for a battery this small. Now, granted, you are stacking them. These are the 3.2 volt versions. They have 3.0 volt versions of them. I use the 3.2 because I generally like hotter vape. But there are 3 volt versions. The 3 volt versions I think are yellow. These 3.2 volt versions are green. Okay, they're the only ones who make these Tenergy batteries. It is like a brand. It has a little R next to it, so this is the brand name, the Tenergy. These batteries work well. I don't know how well other RCR 123A batteries perform. I can't compare it to another one because I haven't vaped off another one. Everybody told me these are the safer ones, these are the good ones, so I bought these, and I have to agree, they are good batteries. They last pretty long, last me about all day. Again, that's going to vary according to how you vape. Of course, we all have those people who tell their tall tales of batteries lasting them 2 weeks, and then you get the other guys who, they take 5 pulls and apparently their batteries go dead. So that's why they need to have a battery this freaking big. They're looking for the 46650. That doesn't exist yet, but they're gonna make it happen, because we all know that no matter how big the battery gets, there's somebody looking to make a mod for it. So I'm pretty sure the next thing is going to be a 9 volt, big old 9 volt car battery. They're going to find a mod. They're going to find a mod. It's going to be like a backpack, and they're going to vape off that, because then it'll last them a month without having to recharge or something, or 3 years or whatever. I don't know. People are addicted to bigger and bigger batteries, and I think it's getting a little ridiculous, but that's my own personal view. If you don't want to have to change your batteries every week, that I guess you're looking forward to the newer battery technology. And hey, I don't think there's anything wrong in wanting a battery to last longer. We all do. We want them to last longer in our laptops. We want them to last longer in our cell phones. We want them to last longer in all applications, especially flashlights. When you need them the most, usually that's when the batteries are dying. So I'm all for better battery technology. I just think for a vaping application, this is already as big as I want it. That's what she said. I don't really see how is it practical to carry anything bigger. It starts getting ridiculous. It starts looking more ridiculous. And I'm not saying we should care about what other people think of us, because if we did, you wouldn't be walking around with a map tank. It just looks like a science experiment. But that's my own personal view. I just think there's a point where it becomes impractical. And once you get bigger than 18650, I just think it's getting ridiculous. Some people even call it 18650 ridiculous. But again, that's my own personal view. Let's get back on point. These batteries are good, and let me tell you the bad point of them. The bad part of this battery is that they drop off the face of the earth. And when I say that, most batteries, they slowly come down. They hit a point where they're supposed to be like 3.7 volt batteries. When you fully charge them, they're 4.2, 4.1. They slowly get down to 3.7, and then they level off. They stay there for 3.7 for most of its life, and then they drop off slowly to 3.6, 3.5. And at that point, if you haven't changed your battery, then you're probably dead, because there's no way you couldn't notice. But they start to drop off after that. And then I heard it gets really sharp, but I never let my batteries bottom out, so I don't have to worry about that. I usually sense it once it gets to 3.7. I'm like, what the hell? So I would say that these batteries act totally differently. They get to a point where, you know, you can meter them out, 3.2, vape 2 minutes later, it'll drop off. Whenever it was at that point where it's going to drop off, it goes from 3.2 to like 2.0. I tested it myself. I couldn't believe that it dropped off that quickly. Unfortunately, I realized this once when I metered them out. I had 3.2, 3.2. I said, oh, I'm good to go. Loaded up my Empire, went downtown to go to work. And I took 3 toots or puffs or whatever you want to call them. And it dropped off. It hit the freaking bottom. Like I said, dropped off the face of the earth. I had no vape for the rest of the day. I had a 5 ohm atomizer, or like a 4.5 ohm atomizer. There was no way I was going to get anything out of that with only 5 volts combined. So I was just screwed for the whole day. The bad point of that is that you should always carry an extra pair of these around with you whenever these are the batteries you're using. That's the downside. I only have to recommend that because you never know when they're going to go. They stay at 3.2 for almost their whole life. And I guess, you know, unless you're keeping track of how long you vaped off those batteries, you're like, okay, it should go now. There's no way you're going to be able to do it. So I think if you have these batteries, bring an extra pair with you, you're good to go. They do vape good. They're very consistent. And I don't know if that's because I'm using a high ohm atomizer, it's not putting a lot of strain on them, but they are very consistent. The vape is the same every time. They fire every time. I've had no problems recharging. They recharge really quickly. I can't put an hour standpoint on it, but usually I put them to charge. I do whatever I'm doing, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh snap, look, it's already charged already. So I like that about them. So they're good batteries. Finding a good atomizer to go with them can be tricky. I think they work well with 2 ohm atomizers all the way up to 3.5 ohm atomizers. After that, it gets a little tricky. But I've used them on 4.5 ohm, and it's a little colder than I like, but they'll work well in that application, especially because these are 3.2. They sell these in 3.0 versions, and you can get those as well. That's basically what I have to say about these batteries. They're really good, other than that one negative point. I don't know how much they cost. I don't know the mod rating. Anybody has that information, they can go ahead and put it down there in the comments below. If anybody has anything they want to say about these batteries, go ahead and comment on them. I want to hear some feedback from you guys who watch these videos, something I can bounce off of. Give me some ideas of what I can do on this show. As it is, I am not buying a lot of stuff lately. I'm kind of saving up for Vape Fest. VaporCon. Please forgive me. They are vastly different things. I mean, they're so different from each other. No, I am expecting this one to be better than Vape Fest only because the vaping community is growing. There's going to be more and more people going to these things, and that's what makes these things great. It doesn't matter who's running them. It doesn't matter how much money it costs or what crappy hotel it's held in. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about any of those things. It matters that the people are there. And the people are what make these meets what they are. And you guys are all awesome people. I invite all of you to go down to VaporCon. If you haven't heard about it, you need to hear about it. And maybe I'll do a video just talking about getting excited about VaporCon or something like that. And I'd like to hear what your guys' plans are to go to that. I'll get more information about that. I'll put it in a separate video, and you guys can hear me out on that. This video is running long. I've been chattering, but basically, Tenergy batteries, they're good. Not perfect, but they're good. They'll fit that niche if you have a high ohm atomizer, or you have an atomizer that's just out of your range of your 3.7 volt batteries. These give the right kick that you need. I'll go ahead and say you can buy them. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.